Pyramids. Now I have a question for you. Let's say we have a pyramid. Okay, it's got a certain height, right, and a certain base area. Now let's picture a cylinder with the same shape and base area, right, and the same height as the pyramid. Now, so you turn the pyramid upside down so it's like a cup, right, and you fill that with water, that pyramid. And you're going to take that water and dump it into the cylinder that has the same height and the same base area, okay? How many of those pyramids would it take to fill the cylinder with the same height? One.
They had the same base area.
They have the same base area. One's a pyramid, one's a prism.
Yeah, one.
3?
Yeah.
2? 3? 7?
25.
How many?
1.
3.
3.
It says 1/3 down here, so 3.
Would you stop it?
Stop reading
You're ruining
ahead.
my whole presentation. Well, here. Was that not going to work now? Oh, I know what I have to do.
That's what they scan was.
There we go. So, yeah, how about that?
Hey, I've seen this last year.
So you just keep your Bible shut then. There's one. This guy's got nothing better to do. None of those are squares. One of them is a prism, the other's a pyramid. There's 2. Those of you who thought 2 were way off.
So square
Is 3 gonna over? I'm gonna say 4.
8 cubed
No,
is
it's not
not 3-dimensional.
3.
Cannot be
3.
Must be 3-dimensional.
It is 3 exactly. They have the same height and the same base area, right? And that prism
What is the view?
requires. How do I get out of this?
I think we should
No.
Oh,
that's-
yeah, Mr. B.
No. Oh, is that the guy that scammed the scammers?
No.
No.
Who was
No,
that?
he is away free money to.
Okay, so as you can see, it takes 3 of these pyramids to fill or have the same volume as a prism of the same height and base area. And again, we have parts here of the pyramid. It's a solid, right? So we know what faces are and edges are, right? And this top part here is a vertex, but we often will call it the apex, right? It's the top of it. Okay. Now the height of the pyramid is this right here. That's the height of the pyramid. Height is that guy. Okay. Now, a lot of people will make the mistake of calling this the height or using a number there as the height. That is not. That's called the slant height. Slant height. And we usually use the letter L to represent the slant height. Okay? Slant height would be letter L. That is not the height of the pyramid. It will not be used directly in calculating its volume. But you can probably guess we use it indirectly to find the actual height. Because what type of shape is formed there with the slant height and the actual height? Huh? A right triangle. And I think we've talked about right triangles. I don't know, maybe we skipped that part. There's probably some things we can do with right triangles, okay? So, from the video, and Madam Olivia back there, the volume of a pyramid is 1/3 of the commensurate prism, right? The same height, the same base area. So 1/3 capital B times H. And again, height and base have to be perpendicular, okay? Capital B again, because we don't know what shape the base is in general, right? Now, what type of prism is this here? Say it correctly. Pentagonal. Pentagonal prism. Well, I just told you. And what about this one? What is this? What kind? The base is a pentagon, the base, right? You're looking at the faces. We name it after the base. What's it called? pentagonal pyramid. Try it, pentagonal, say it. Okay, how about hexagonal? Okay, yes, that's the proper way to pronounce it. All right, so 1/3 base times height is the volume. Here's some examples. All right, these are pretty straightforward here. We got the shape, it's a square pyramid. You know how to get the area of a square, right? Side times side, okay? So 1/3 base times height. So this right here would be our capital B, and that 10 would be the actual height of that pyramid, okay? And the next one, they give us the height, and now the shape of the base is a rectangle. So it's a rectangular pyramid, right? 4 times 6, that's our capital B, times our height of 8, and 1/3 of that, okay? And again, we need a calculator for, right? Let's see. A third of, well, let's pick 6. What's a third of 6? Times 4. Times 8. 64, right? Put those button pushers down. Now over here, it's a triangular base, so it's a triangular pyramid, right? The formula for the area of a triangle is what? 1/2 base times height. So it's 1/3 times 1/2. Right? That's our big B there. Times our height of 8. Okay? What's a third times 1/2, guys? 1/6, right? Of 3 times 5 times 8. Right? Multiplying fractions is pretty simple, right? You don't need a common denominator, right? You know that? You just multiply across the top and then across the bottom. Let's go to the next page where I believe they give us a slant height, L. And the way their font is, they use an L. It looks like a capital I or a 1, or I don't know. That's why I use the cursive looking L for mine. You probably should do the same thing, okay? So slant height here is 5 centimeters. Get in the habit of using the cursive L. About great. I mean, it's more distinctive than something that can look like something else, all right? So in this case, we have to use a Pythagorean theorem to get our H, okay? But what about the X down there? What's that? Half of the 6, right? So that's 3, okay? And the slant height is 5. So Pythagorean theorem, we're what? Come on now. Yeah, it's a 3, 4, 5. Right? So the height is what? Height is 4. And now we can go in and find our volume. Okay? The height is 4. All right, 1/3, 6 times 4, the height, okay, gives you 48 cubic centimeters. The next one, we have a lateral edge. Oh boy, we're going to take a couple steps here, aren't we? So how are we going to get from a 13 centimeter lateral edge to the height there in the middle? Any thoughts on that? It's not the slant height, right? Get the slant height using what? And right, well, with this triangle over here, right? That's a right triangle, is it not? Okay, so that's 13, that's 5, right? Is that the triple, isn't it? It's a 5, 12, 13, isn't it? So it's a 5, 12, 13. So the slant height is 12, okay? So now, that's 5. Let's be careful. Is the next triangle of 5, 12, 13? Be very careful. Why not? It's an easy thing to jump into. Because in a 5, 12, 13, the 13 must be what part of the triangle? The longest side, the hypotenuse, right? So if I call that 13, it just can't be. Does that make sense? So in this case, we will have to use what? Pythagorean, which they do here. We did a triple for this one. And down here, you'll have to use the Pythagorean theorem. So that height is actually 10.91. Right? You all get that, right? So you know 3, 4, 5. 5 has to be the hypotenuse, okay? It's the biggest of 3, 4, and 5.
Oh,
I could write them out before. Okay? We do like a number line. Okay. All right, so be careful. Like, so if they give you the length of an edge, you got to kind of work through 2 right triangles to get to the height you need, right? Okay. Here's some examples. First one, pretty straightforward. Oh, they didn't work it out. I guess you're going to do that. Okay? So right now, take a look at these 2. 1/3 base times height, so you need to know what the base is. Okay? And you might have to find its own little base and height to get its area. Okay? Take a minute and do those. So we've got 5. We need this perpendicular side here for the triangle, right? What is it? What is it? What's the length of the side? It's 12, right? So now we can do volume equals 1/3 times 1/2 times 5 times 12. And what's the height of our pyramid? 10, right? So just to be clear, this is our capital B because it's a triangle, and that's our height. What's 1/3 times 1/2? 1/6. Well, let's see. What's 1/6 of 12? Yeah, let's just do it. 5 times 12 times 10, right? So 1/6 of 12, 10. Whoopsie daisy. 1/6 of 12 is 2, right? 2 times 10 is what? Times 5. 100. And let me guess, here are centimeters. Cubic centimeters. See, no calculator necessary. Smile where you made me say. Probably forgot.
Yeah, I just didn't, see, I went through, first I put 13, but then I said, well, it's not right. I then found the 12, and I just didn't,
Oh,
1/2.
yeah,
So
okay.
I put 6
Yeah, 1/2 is important. Okay, do number 2. 10's not the height, but we know this in this triangle here, this is 6, right? Right, it's a 3, 4, 5 double, isn't it? Right?
Yeah.
6, 8, 10. 8, 10. Okay. So that means that's 6, that's 10, that's 8. Okay. So now we got our height. So volume equals 1/3 times 12 squared, right? Times 8. Instead of 12 times 12, it's squared, right? Okay. So that gives us what? 384 cubic centimeters. All right, we good on that? So just one, it's like all the other ones, right? Same with like a prison, kind of, except you get the slant height now that you have to deal with, but otherwise it's still kind of like capital B times H, but 1/3. All right, let's just read this question then. Here we go. Number 1, we got a tent, right pyramid. And by the way, like we didn't talk about it. You could have a right pyramid, or you could have a pyramid that's kind of skewed to one side, and then also be oblique, right? And what's the shape of the base of the pyramid? Yeah, there you go. Anything? Choice 2 or 128 cubic whatever's feet, right? So volume is the pyramid 1/3. It's a square, right? Times 8 times 8 or 8 squared times its height, which was what? Where does it say 6? Oh, there it is, 6, right? So volume equals 128 cubic feet. Simple enough. Okay. On to the next one. This looks like something of a compound structure here. Probably have to add some things together. That's okay. Most of us are okay with adding in here. Give me the number. Give me the actual number. 640, right? Okay, so that's 3. We know that we need this up here. That's 4, right? Okay. So we got a rectangular prism and a pyramid on top, right? Okay, so volume is going to be, so we're going to start out with the rectangle plus pyramid, right? So the rectangle volume is going to be 8 times 8 times 9, plus for the pyramid 1/3. It's a square pyramid, right? So 8 squared times its height is 3. And what do we say, 640 cubic feet. There we go. All right, moving along. Number 3. This one's a little bit trickier. You could. So, I mean, pyramids are tough. I don't need a sketch. I mean,
Yeah,
it's kind of tough. I have trouble drawing them unless, like the square pyramid, I can kind of do. Get into like a hexagonal pyramid. I just forget it. Some of you probably can. I don't know. So are we solving for the volume in this one? No. What are we going to solve for? So we'll use the formula for the volume of the pyramid, but the variable that will be missing will be what? H. Yeah. Okay. So let's see. Pyramid rectangle 6 by 9, right? They want the height. They gave the volume. So maybe I'm going to do this. 1/3 times the area of the base, 4.6 times, what was the other one? Where's my plate? Times 9 times the height, right? Equals 82.8. A couple of ways to approach this one here. Everybody get their answer for that one yet? Choice 1, height is 6. It is. It is. So probably the simplest thing to do to avoid the mistakes, right, is just like take these first 3 terms and put them in your calculator. You just do it that way.
Yeah.
You get a decimal, you get 13.8 H
Yeah.
equals 80. And now it's just a simple matter of doing what? Dividing both sides by 13.8, right? Because a lot of times you'll try to divide both sides by that and that and that, and you'll forget to put parentheses around it in your calculator, right? So you end up getting H equals about 6. Okay. Any questions on that one? All right. Let's keep going. We'll get to number 6, I think. Just save time. We'll get through number 6. But in the meantime, we'll look at number 4. Number 4 should be pretty simple. Cross section of a regular pyramid, and that cross section, that knife slice contains the altitude.
Triangle.
You guys agree it has to be a triangle? Yeah, right. So I'm going to sketch it if you want, but you can just kind of picture taking a pyramid and slicing with a knife straight down from the top to the bottom. I mean, you even use like this one here, right? You got that one there. You could probably look at it and run it down there. Okay. So it's choice 3. Okay. Number 5. You want the length of side of the base. What shape is the base? Square. So we're all the same. Maybe I'll just call them X and X. X and X. Okay. Just gonna need a little quick. So this is a little bit like what number 3, right?
4 equals 1/3, and then x squared, the parentheses, and 7.
Yeah. I like to keep I switch the like the volume thing around because I like to keep my variable on the left, as you know. You're fine, but that's just one of my hangups, right? So I'll do 1/3 times x squared, and it was times 7, right? Equals 84, like that.
And I multiplied 4/3 and 7.
Yeah. Well, that gave you 7/3 x squared, didn't it?
Yeah, so, yeah. And then divided it by 7. Each line,
Which is equivalent to multiplying by what?
3/7.
Yeah, right? So when you have something like this, just do times 3/7 times 3/7, right?
36.
Reciprocal. Cancel, 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 cancel. X squared equals 36. And so x equals what? You get that? You guys understand multiplying by a reciprocal to make it go away, right? That's 6. All right, last one for today. Child's 10.
Child. That's like a child.
Yes. Wait for like an infant 10. About this big.
But it's in inches.
It is. Yeah, check your units now. Yeah. Right? Because inches, and how do they want the answer? Nearest cubic foot. Now, we looked at one yesterday. When should I do my converting? Yes, you can do it at the end, but remember what happened yesterday? What happened? You all tried to take your final answer and divide by 12, didn't you? But remember that final answer was cubed. So you would need to have divided it by 12 cubed, which is an easy thing to forget, so I would do it now. Still who got 2?
I got 2 too.
2?
Yeah.
And we get 3? Okay. Correct answer is 2. So let's get the inches converted. So 60, you divide it by 12, right? You get what? Not an F. 5 feet, right? And then the 84 divided by 12 gives you how many feet? 7 feet. Yep, a lot of spacing out in here, right? And now we can just use that in our formula. So volume equals 1/3 times 5 times 7. And what was the height of it?
7 was like,
Oh, it was the height. Oh, 5 squared. Yeah, sorry. 5 squared times 7. Yep. Okay. So that gives us, it's like 58.3 feet, right?
yeah.
Cubic feet. But rounded correctly, it's 258. Okay? Yeah, so watch those units, guys. All right, we'll stop that there. Let me give you what your problem set would be. Here, so your problem set will be numbers 1 through 5.